Hi guys, just Rob here again, doing another DVD update. I thought this time I might sort of following on with a sort of theme to my video. I might do a video based on all DVD box sets, just some box sets that I've sort of bought recently. So before I get into that though, I might perhaps just say a couple of things. First thing, I'm sure a lot of other people have this issues too, but I just want to say that the new YouTube layout I think is a bit shit. I don't know why they sort of changed it. I mean, I have no problem with some sort of changing things and making things new and fresh and stuff, but I think what they've done is just made it worse. It's really hard to navigate, and you can't sort of find certain things, and I don't know why they changed it. Why they sort of made such sort of big changes to it. So yeah. I think you find I've actually still sort of running back on that sort of the old version still. I haven't sort of changed back to that. So hopefully when they actually do make it compulsory, the new one, hopefully they've sort of decided to perhaps sort of add back in some of the things which they've taken out. Second thing is I just want to say just sort of thanks to all the all my subscribers, and to all my new subscribers and people that have sort of made comments on the video over the last last sort of month or so, or last few months. Just want to really say thanks for that. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate your input, and really sort of makes me sort of want to keep making videos and stuff like that. So just thanks for that. Righto, so let's get into it. Okay, the first one I got was one called Elvira, Box of Horror. Now you think so I actually did a bit of a tribute to Elvira a few sort of videos back for it's kind of like a Halloween type special. This has actually got it's got 6 movies in it, all up. I think sort of 6 sort of black and white sort of classic horror movies. And basically Elvira actually just introduces the movies, and also sometimes sort of interrupts the movies and just sort of cracks bad jokes about the acting and what's sort of happening in the movie. I mean you can sort of turn that sort of feature off. You can just sort of watch the just the movies just normally without having sort of Elvira there. So the movies Minute 13, Carnival of Souls, Little Shop of Horrors, The Brain That Wouldn't Die, House on Haunted Hill with Vincent Price in it, and Night of the Living Dead by George Romero. So I think I've only watched a couple of these. I watched Little Shop of Horrors, which I thought was reasonably good. I mean they're all sort of really old sort of black and white movies, so the quality is not all that sort of crash hot. And also I found the sound was really turned down, really low. I had to really sort of crank up my my speakers to really so I could just sort of hear it. So yeah, it was Little Horrors. I thought that was reasonably good. Plus some of the acting was a bit overdone perhaps. I thought it was reasonably good though. There's actually it was a remake, wasn't there, in the 80s of Little Shop of Horrors with Rick Moranis in it, which actually wouldn't mind sort of checking it out. Actually, that one. I remember watching that version, the one with Rick Moranis in it, when I was in high school. I remember we were in a big sort of classroom, and I don't know why we were watching it, but we were all sort of sitting there watching it, and I saw it was like a musical, and it's got sort of songs all through it, and I think after like the 4th or 5th song, I sort of let out this sort of huge groan because I was getting a bit sick of all these songs, and everyone just sort of stared at me and gave me this really big dirty look, and I thought, oh god, I was a bit embarrassed when that happened. But I certainly wouldn't mind perhaps checking it out again now though. I can be quite good. The other two I got, watched House on Haunted Hill with Vincent Price, which I thought was pretty good, black and white. So actually, it's about I think it's about sort of a eccentric millionaire, and his wife's having it's her birthday, so he decides to throw a bit of a party, I suppose. So he invites all these, I think it's like 4 or 5 people to this sort of haunted house, and he sort of says to them, "Well, I'll pay you each $10,000 if you can sort of manage to spend a night in this sort of haunted house." Obviously there's a few murders and people get killed and stuff like that. But I actually thought it was quite a good movie. I remember sort of starting to watch it, and I was sort of thinking in the back of my mind, wasn't there a remake of House on Haunted Hill with Paris Hilton in it? And I think it's sort of about halfway through I realised it wasn't. I remember it wasn't with. It was actually House of Wax, wasn't it? That was the one that Paris Hilton was in. But I sort of found it funny that there's actually an actor in this movie that actually looks quite a bit like Paris Hilton, which I found sort of quite interesting. Like, she's obviously a bit older, but she's still got the same, same sort of face and same sort of face structure and things like that. So that wasn't too bad of a movie. And the last one I watched was Night of the Living Dead. I think it's written and directed by George Romero. I think I actually remember watching this one when I was a kid. I think it might have been the very sort of first horror movie that I ever sort of watched, and it was. I just remember it sort of being in black and white. I think they did do like an update of it and just sort of put it into colour. I don't think I've ever sort of seen that version, but I thought it was a pretty good movie. I just found it a bit funny that the movie sort of starts out and sort of being in broad daylight, and then as soon as the zombies turn up, it immediately just sort of goes black. It's night time sort of thing. So, but I thought it was a reasonably good sort of movie. So yeah, that's Elvira's Horror Classics one there. Now speaking of George Romero, I actually got another. Well, it's probably not necessarily a box set, but I suppose it does have sort of 3 versions of this film, of the Dawn of the Dead film. This is the Arrow release. With sort of, as I said, 3 versions. Got the original theatrical version, got the director's cut, and the Orrento's cut. It's got different sort of art cover work, and it's got a booklet inside, and so sort of a special edition, I suppose. I'm pretty sure I watched Dawn of the Dead probably years and years ago. I'm pretty sure I have watched it before. I just sort of get something, because everyone sort of seems to, whenever you sort of ask them what their favourite horror movie is, they always say it's Dawn of the Dead, and I thought, I might sort of pick it up and see what everyone's sort of talking about. So I watched the theatrical cut a few weeks ago. I thought it was pretty good. But I don't know, probably quite as good as everyone sort of makes it out to be. But I suppose it was sort of made back in the 70s, wasn't it? So it's probably, I don't know, perhaps a bit dated, I suppose. But I thought it was reasonably good. But I did actually watch the director's cut yesterday, and I actually sort of appreciated it a bit more, and I can sort of understand perhaps why people sort of say it's probably one of their favourite sort of zombie movies, at least. Just sort of broke decent sort of characters and stuff like that. Those are the problems I had. I don't see why, because I think the theatrical cut's actually the Blu-ray, but the other 2 versions are just a normal sort of DVD, which I was a bit disappointed with. But oh well. I think the director's cut probably has a bit more. I think it's got a few extra scenes in it, and it sort of deals a bit more, perhaps a bit more with the characters. It has a bit more scenes, sort of with the characters sort of interacting with each other, whereas the original cut, I think it's got a bit more sort of zombie action, a bit more sort of gore in it, and I haven't watched that one yet. I haven't watched the original cut yet, but I might perhaps to watch that one day. But it's not nice sort of set though, so I thought I'd grab that. So yeah, that was pretty good. Just put that away. nice one, nice one for my collection. Okay, so the next one I got was just a bit of a, I don't know, sorry, a blind buy, I suppose. But I just I saw it on eBay, sort of going really cheap. I think it had like a few days left for it to run, so I thought I might just add that to my wish list, and I might be able to pick up a bargain or something. And I think I just by accident I was sort of going through my what was sort of about to end in my list of in my wish list, and I think I had like 30 seconds to go, and I think it was only like, I don't know what it was. I ended up getting it for $29 in the end, which I thought was a total sort of bargain. So I thought I better sort of grab that. Yeah, so it's basically Law and Order, sort of big huge box set. Basically, Law and Order, Criminal Intent, Law and Order, Special Victims Unit. Basically, I think it's the first seasons just of those sort of two sort of shows, I suppose. It's got 18 discs in it, so I think for $29, I think that was a total sort of bargain. I wasn't so a huge fan, say, of Law and Order, but there was a sort of time when I did sort of watch these sort of sort of shows like this, sort of pretty much sort of flat out, like you had like sort of CSI and NCIS. I don't know if they're sort of the same sort of similar, I suppose, not quite the same sort of thing, I guess, but this is a total bargain, so I thought I'd better sort of grab it. It's got a bit of damage though to it, like the plastic is coming off, and sort of the case is a bit sort of bent and stuff, which is sort of a bit disappointing. I did sort about sending it back, and I thought, oh, that's only a bit of cardboard, I suppose it's not really going to matter that much. I don't quite understand quite why it got sort of so damaged though, because it was sort of padded up fairly well. I'll just show you the packaging for it. I mean, it wasn't in like just a bag, eBay sort of bag, but it was actually sort of padded up, reasonably sort of thick, sort of padding with it though. So, I don't quite understand why it sort of got so sort of damaged. I mean, I suppose sort of two things that would happen. I suppose it either would have been, perhaps even before the Senate, it might have perhaps been a bit damaged, or it might have just been damaged in transit. But I think to be sort of been damaged in transit, it would have had to have been fairly sort of knocked around and sort of really sort of it's really must have had something really heavy on it, really to push it down and to really sort of damage it, because it was in pretty thick sort of padding. So I thought it should be should be okay, I would have thought, but it's only a bit of cardboard, I suppose. It's not really going to matter that much. Okay, the next one I got was an anime series, which I pretty much have no idea about. Basically, it's basically called Lawsons Boy Royalty. I think it's the complete set, 4 DVD sort of set. I think I got for $33, I think it is, which I thought was a bit of a bargain. I have sort of I think it's sort of a cross between the Captain Bebop anime series and probably James Bond, I suppose. Well, that's pretty much all I really know about it, really. I just thought it's kind of like a fairly cool idea, I suppose, really. I think it's essentially, I had a quick look. I think it's sort of about, I think it's got sort of 2 guys in it. I think they're sort of been hired to sort of look after so I think it's the royal family. I think they're sort of like hired to sort of protect them against criminals and the terrorism and getting assassinated and stuff like that. So I'm sort of looking forward to watching that one, because I think it sounds like a pretty sort of cool idea. I mean, if someone sort of watched this season, this show, certainly leave us some comments down the bottom, just saying what you sort of thought about it. So I reckon that'd be pretty good watch, reasonably cheap too. Now the last one I got was I got a box set of a director's sort of box set of 7 of his movies. Now I did actually do a sort of one of my other updates. I did an update of one of his movies, which sort of got me into him, sort of thing. Now, it's actually you probably never heard of this guy. He's an Italian director, sort of foreign director. Basically, the director is Tinto Brass, I think his name. Basically, he's sort of, as I sort of mentioned before in my other video. He's sort of like I suppose he's like a director of erotic films. So I thought I might just grab a big pile of his movies to sort of, see what they're all like. Sort of, all, at 18 sort of movies. But yeah, sort of like, erotic sort of films, and a lot of sort of I don't know, sort of campy sort of sort of, I don't know, sexy sex films, I guess. Now I did sort of see another sort of box set of him, which had better artwork on it, but it did actually have less movies in it, and it was actually more expensive than this one. I think I got this one for about $40. I think it was. So yeah, I'll sort of I'll open it up and sort of show you what the movies are. Now they were actually in a different order when I actually sort of bought it. I have actually sort of rearranged it and tried to put it in the order that they're actually made. So hopefully I've got them in the right order. I mean, they're not sort of not. I'm sure there's lots of films in between, but I just try to put them in order so I can just watch them in order. The first one I got was one called the Key, which I watched the other day, which I thought was fairly good. Now they're all actually they're all got an English dub on them all, which is probably a little bit disappointing, but I suppose I can sort of get past that. The only problem I had with this one was that it's only sort of half in English, the other half sort of in Italian, which is a bit disappointing. I mean, because I think you sort of got the main sort of storyline, then you sort of got the subplot line. So the main sort of storyline was sort of in English, but I think the sort of the subplot, which was sort of to do with the political sort of, I think it's sort of set in 1940s, and I think it's a bit of a political sort of fascist the fascist regime, I think, type thing. Which I think you sort of miss out on that because you don't understand, sort of what the side characters are sort of talking about, the the war and all that sort of stuff. So you sort of miss out on that. So yeah, they've got the Key. Next one is the Miranda, which I think sort of came out in, I think it's the late 80s or early 90s. I probably might show the back of that one because there's a bit of nudity on the back there. So yeah, you got Miranda, which I haven't sort of watched that one yet. Next one, All Ladies Do It. I think's yeah, I think that I was gonna say that's All Ladies Do It. Just put that back. Next one I got is this is Frivolous Lola or Monella, which is the movie I actually did a DVD update. This is sort of the movie that I sort of got, sort of bought and bit of a blind buy, and this is the reason sort of why I sort of bought this box set. This was really good, I think. Pretty good. So I watched that one. What else have we got here? Next one, Transgressions. I think, it's not. I've been back of that, but anyway, yeah. So they're sort of I wouldn't say they're like sort of porn movies. They're more sort of erotic, sort of campy, sort of like there's no sort of actual, there's no sort of full on sex in them. It's just more sort of nudity, and they're all sort of, stockings and suspenders, and just things like that. I suppose do it. I think it's sort of got a lot of sort of short stories in it, and stuff like that. And the last one is Monamour. I think that's how you pronounce it. Monamour, yeah. Yeah, so I just sort of bought that. I think it was reasonably cheap, and I just thought, just obviously it's a bit different. Sort of. I always sort of like foreign films, and it's always nice to watch things that are a bit sort of different from from Australia. So it's it's always nice to sort of have things that are from different countries, and it's always nice to see different things, and something a bit sort of fresh and new to you and stuff like that. So, yeah, I was just to grab that. I think I've only watched 2 of the movies, I think, 2 or 3. 2, I think. Yeah, so that's just my update, my box set update. Hope you enjoyed that. Well, you probably noticed that a lot of my videos, I don't sort of necessarily buy a lot of the sort of the popular stuff. I'm always trying to find things that are a bit, a bit different and a bit out there, just to sort of, get, stuff like that. So yeah, thanks to again, to all my new subscribers that I've got, and all the comments that people have made and stuff like that. So yeah, till next time, I'll see you all later. Cheers.